What's up? How are you doing? Hope you've been well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day that you're watching this video. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jemmy Naftali. I am a pediatrician by profession, and in this channel we talk about child's welfare, whereby I create the awareness on common illnesses affecting children while growing up. In this channel, I want to involve everybody, especially the mothers, into the management of these babies, to have the know-how and also create the awareness on what really happens to these children while growing up. If you have not subscribe to be part of this wonderful family, because this is a family. We want it to be as big as possible. And if you're that returning subscriber, thank you so much for always keeping tuned. Thank you for always coming back to watch my content. Thank you and welcome so much. Welcome into today's video, and in today's video I want us to talk about something that is not talked about so much, and it's very important, and this is about child abuse. Child abuse, this is very common nowadays, and especially in our country, Kenya. We have got child abuse everywhere. So let's start by knowing what child abuse is. So maybe by definition, what is child abuse? Child abuse is physical, we have got emotional, sexual, or even psychological maltreatment or neglect of a child, especially by the parent or the caregiver. So what we are saying is that when we say that the child has been abused, it's either physically, it's either mentally, or sexually, or even psychologically, and mostly, unfortunately, it's by the parents or the caregivers. This is what we call child abuse. This is what the definition of the child abuse is. Normally we have 5 categories, 5 categories of child abuse in Kenya. So number one, like we have talked, the number one is the physical. Physical is whereby there's hitting, there's striking this baby using canes, or there's a physical harm. So physically you can see that the child has been harmed. They have been hit by a stick, and you can see injuries everywhere, and this is now the physical. Number 2 category is sexual. Sexual is molesting or even raping. This is very common, remember. Molesting this child or even raping them. It can be the female or even male. Nowadays it is happening to both sexes. Another category is that category of the emotional. The child abused, they are abused emotionally. So this is belittling or demeaning this child, or even yelling at them every time. So you keep shouting on this child, even if it's a small thing. You yell, you keep demeaning them, showing them they cannot be able to do anything on their own. So this is emotional. Emotionally it affects this child, and this is what we call emotional child abuse. We have got medical abuse, another category. Medical abuse is denying the needed medical services. Remember, every child has got the right to get medical services or to medical services. So as a parent, you are denying this baby. Maybe you are not taking them to hospital even when they are sick, so you deny them that medical services. This is a form of child abuse. We have got neglect. Neglect is whereby you withhold, as a parent or a caregiver, you withhold or you fail to provide the basic needs of these children. And the basic needs, remember, is food. You deny them food, clothing. You even throw them out in the dark, in the cold. So you deny them even the shelter. So and other basic needs. So this is neglecting them when you deny them all these things. So these are types of the most common categories of child abuse. I hope we are together up to this point. So what are the causes of this child abuse in Kenya? What causes this? Normally there are no reasons why people hurt children. There are no reasons as to why people hurt children, but normally there are factors that predispose people into hurting these children. So number one, if there is a history or the history of child abuse or neglect during their own childhood. So if these parents themselves went had this child abuse when they were growing up. There was nobody to take care of them. They were being done all sorts of things. They were being abused when they were growing up. So it tends to repeat itself. So these are common. This is one of the predisposing factor to abusing a child. You find now it's you now to raise this child. So you find yourself doing whatever was done to you when you were growing up during your childhood. That is one cause. If we have a history of having a substance use disorder. This means that whoever is abusing this child, they are under influence of things. Like there are people that use the IV drug users. They want to be high all the times, alcoholic. So there's something that is behind them, or taking the marijuana, you know. So they are high, and that is why they find it themselves abusing these children. Use of substance, use of substances. Yeah, we have got physical or mental health conditions. The person who is hurting this child, either mentally, sexually, or doing all these sort of things, you find some have got medical or mental health issues. E.g., they have got depression. They are depressed, so they find themselves abusing these children. They have got things we call post-traumatic stress disorders. This is all that is in them that is really causing this and making them abuse these children. If you have got a poor parent-child relationship, again, so if you did the same when you're growing up, it is likely to repeat itself. Socioeconomic stress, of course. We have financial issues like poverty. We do not have enough finances to raise this child up. So most commonly you find yourself abusing them because we do not have the enough resources to do that. Yeah. Another cause or predisposing factor to abusing a child is caring for a child with intellectual or physical disability, and this makes the caregiving challenging. So what I mean here is that when the child you're taking care of has got mental challenges or even physical challenges, for example, a child with CP, remember we talked about the cerebral palsy. This is a child that you'll do almost everything for them. You're going to dress them even when they have grown up, because they don't have the muscles are weak and they are not able to do anything for themselves. You have to dress them, you have to take them to the toilet and make sure you do everything for them. So if you have got this kind of a child who needs, these children need more attention than any other child. So if they have got mental or physical challenges, you find yourself this is a reason to abuse children, because you find that like it's a burden. Yeah, you know, you get what I mean. So this is another very, very common predisposing factor to abusing a child. Family stress or crisis by the domestic violence. So you find that both parents are not together. They keep on fighting every time. So you find that this child that is being raised in these circumstances whereby we have got domestic quarrels or violences every time, they tend to get abused. Remember, emotionally, yeah, psychologically also, because they can see whatever the parents are doing. So those are some of the causes or some of the predisposing factors to abusing a child. So I hope you're together up to that point. Now, what are the signs or behaviors to show child abuse? The signs, and you can tell this one, most probably this child is being abused. So number one is you ignore or you deny a child's problematic behavior. So you find a parent ignoring this child at every time, even in public, and you can tell this most commonly is a sign of child abuse. Use of languages that view a child as worthless. So get out of there. What do you think you can do? You're not able to do anything. Such comments, and this is again in the public, you're able to tell this could be a sign that there's a child abuse happening to this child. Also, if you have demanding physical or academic performances, and this is not achievable by this child. Imagine you are a parent, and you find that your child is an average student. Maybe in a class of 30 people. They get into position 15, so this is an average. They're just there in the middle. This is an average student. So you keep demanding, and using words to tell this child that you must become number one, position one in school. You know very well, most probably it's not even achievable by this child. So when you keep demanding physical or academic performances, this could be a sign of child abuse. Another sign of abuse is asking teachers or the caregivers to use harsh punishments when the child misbehaves. Imagine, so you have a caregiver in your home as a parent, so most probably it's the caregiver that is taking care of this child when you're away, maybe at work or something. So what you tell this caregiver is that when this child misbehaves, when this child does this, please take a cane. You use the cane, maybe 5 or 10 strokes, maybe, I don't know, do all sorts of things. Imagine you give the commands to these caregivers how they will punish these children if they misbehave. Even in school, you go and approach the teacher, you tell them when this child does not do what is right in school, use a very, very harsh punishment on them. This could be a sign of child abuse again. Another sign, if there is no physical affection to the child at all, no physical affection. So the baby is, the child is playing with other kids and the parent is there. So like the parent just ignores and the child can even not dare come near this parent. Yeah, there's no physical affection at all. Hostility to this child. So this child, they feel so much alone. You see this child neglecting themselves. They're just somewhere alone, are playing with them. They're not able to play with other children because there's that thing in them. So this is a sign. And this mother is very, very hostile, even in front of parents. I mean, in front of even the public. Even you have visitors at home, the parent is very hostile to this child. So this is a sign of child abuse. If you have we display little concern for these children, very little concern. The child is not, the caregiver or the parent or the guardian is not concerned at all. So like, for example, it is late. Now it is now starting to become dark. This is a child, and most probably a female child, maybe around 5-10 years. You do not have any concern of where this child could be. You don't even have the thought of thinking maybe something bad could happen to them, and you start looking for them early. Whatever time they come back at home, it is none of your business. This shows a little or no concern to this child, and this could be a sign of child abuse. Imagine. So these are some of the signs or behaviors to show that there is child abuse. Now, if you're a neighbor, for example, and you feel maybe you are a neighbor to that home whereby there is child abuse, you keep experiencing things around the neighborhood or around in the community, you can point and know that this mother or this caregiver really punishes this child, or there is some child abuse. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to keep quiet? What are you supposed to do when you notice this? Number one, what you can do to help these babies, first of all, report this case to the police station. Just go report, say 1, 2, 3 things happen in this neighborhood, and the police most probably will take it from there, and they might help this child. You can talk to the doctor or a therapist that you know and point out that a child in a certain neighborhood gets child abuse, and this might help you find the immediate help through these caregivers that you know or you visited, or these therapists. Yeah, you can help this child by visiting the child welfare organizations. They are all over. You make a step of stepping there, say apartment so and so, there's a baby in this neighborhood, that 1, 2, 3 things happen in the neighborhood, and you visit this child welfare organization, and this child is going to get help. You can call Child Help, National Child Abuse Hotline. There are hotlines everywhere whereby if you see a child being abused, you call that number. So this way you'll have helped these babies, you'll have helped these children more and more. So what we are saying here is that there is, of course, something that you can do. You just don't fold your hands and keep quiet. Others even say, this is not my child, after all, it's their children. Remember, children belong to everybody. Children belong to the society, if I may say so. So protect that child even if it's not your child. Yeah, protect that child so that they need to grow like any other babies without any any issues. Yeah, so report and do all the stuff, sort of things that we have just said. So thank you so much for keeping tuned. I felt that it is good to talk about this. It is very few people talk about this child abuse, and it's everywhere. We can see them even in public. You can really point some things happening, so don't keep quiet, and this is all that happens. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for keeping tuned. Again, I'm requesting, if you are watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to be part of us. Also hit the notification bell to know every time I'm posting a new video here. Yeah, so and also remember to share the videos widely to reach as many people as possible, especially, for example, this video on child abuse. Maybe people have seen children are going through so much and they don't know what, they are stuck, they don't know what to do. Now you know. Please share them so that they can help as many people as possible. So thank you so much. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.